Hey, now it's the Rob from 106.1 Kiss FM here with my tag team partner in podcasting, Ramblin' Jerry Valeri. Good morning, Jer.
Wow!
I have been so
shot out of a cannon, baby.
I've been looking forward to this all week. We even toyed with the idea of doing this episode yesterday because we both watched SmackDown on Tuesday. And but we're like, you know what? We've been saying Thursday. Let's just stick with Thursday. And here we are, the moment we've all been waiting for, the Royal Rumble prediction show.
Dear WWE, this is what excitement for a pay-per-view looks like.
Yeah, when you give us time between shows.
You give us a month to build a show, like a full month, a month and a half. You build storylines over a couple. I mean, they've run it so fast now that like a month seems like a long time.
Oh yeah,
like you know what I mean? Like I've always wanted 3 months in between, but I'll take a month. The build for this is
technically more.
I mean, the anticipation is there. This is what you're supposed to have for every pay-per-view. I'm sorry. It's what you're supposed to have.
Absolutely. And this is why I don't give those shows A's. This is why I use what I've been calling the Attitude Era scale. Just because a pay-per-view was 20 years ago doesn't mean the scale needs to change.
This also benefits from the fact that the Royal Rumble match is my favorite match in wrestling, and it is my favorite pay-per-view in wrestling. It just always has been, and I think it always will be.
Combine it with what I'm just going to call an unprecedented level of unpredictability. I mean, it's always unpredictable when you've got 30 guys in a match, but I feel like this year it's extra unpredictable, and we are doing the word. We're trying to predict.
Yeah, we're all over the place. I've been all over the place with my predictions.
Yeah,
and it's like the butterfly effect because one match, if I choose one match differently, it changes everything in the Rumble for me.
Yeah, exactly right. So let me mention a few things before we get to our Rumble predictions, if you don't mind. First of all, I'm very excited to say that along with this episode, we will be giving away a prize to a lucky listener here in Evansville.
Nice. What's the prize?
So here's the deal. We've got some. It's like I believe it's 4. I have to check what the total thing is, but it's like there's a place here in Evansville called Secret Headquarters. They're like a comic book shop, video game shop, and they've got a really cool arcade.
I think I read about that. Gavin wrote about that on your website.
Absolutely, yeah. So we've got some free hours in their arcade, and all you need to do to enter the contest is Sunday morning, we're going to put this video with a link on our Facebook page. Okay, it'll probably be around 5 in the morning or so.
Okay.
All we need you to do is predict who you think will win the Royal Rumble. You don't even have to be right. Just make a prediction, and you'll be entered to win the prize. I believe
that's an awesome prize. You know how much I would have loved growing up to have some free hours at an arcade?
Yeah, not only that, their arcade is legit. Like they've got like the Ninja Turtles arcade game, Mortal Kombat, NBA Jam, Street Fighter. Like their arcade is on point.
Is it kind of like retro? So it's retro too?
Yes, it's all like all their comics are like, well, they're not all used, but they've got their video games are, pre-owned stuff, and it's all like collectibles. It's an awesome place. And I want to say it's 4 1-hour passes to the arcade. So, and you don't have to do anything. Just watch the video, leave a comment Sunday, sometime after the video goes up at like 5 in the morning on the Facebook, on Kiss FM's Facebook page, which is facebook.com/1061 Evansville. And my understanding is they're going to choose a random person. That is not my job, mind you. I will not be picking the person, so don't get mad at me. Jerry won't be doing it either. That falls on our digital team.
I always say when we do something like this, you don't have to think. You just have to participate. It's the easiest thing ever.
Yeah, right, exactly.
That's it.
So that's the first thing I wanted to mention. I had a quick question for you before we started, too. I wanted to know, have you watched that Kenny Omega match that you said you'd watch?
I have not, but I'm halfway through the European tournament.
Okay. All right, cool. Fair enough. A few things from SmackDown. I don't want to spend a ton of time on SmackDown because the real draw of this episode is the predictions. I just had a small amount of notes I wanted to mention, and we'll get to that. There was something I thought a bit odd in the Randy Orton video package leading up to his match with that actually got the show started with Luke Harper.
Yeah.
They were focusing on this. It was a video of him saying, if you can't beat him, join him, as to why Orton joined the Wyatt family in the first place.
Right.
Do you know where I'm going with this?
Well, he kind of, go ahead, you go.
He wasn't having any problem beating them.
No, exactly. He was beating them. He was beating them at their own game.
So why is the quote associated with this turn or this feud or whatever you want to say? Why would the quote be, if you can't beat him, join him?
Here's the thing about Randy Orton with the Wyatts. While I like Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt teamed up, and I like that dynamic, I don't like the story that got them there or the story they're sticking to.
I'm liking this less than I thought I would.
Yeah.
So there's that. I hate saying this about the women wrestlers, but I'm going to talk about one of their appearances. I think that Mickie James looks a little rough.
Oh, yeah, dude. I've told you I interviewed her in studio, and she was looking rough then, and that was like 10 years ago.
Was she still with WWE when you interviewed her?
She was. She was the Divas champ at the time.
Yeah, I feel like time hasn't done her well. I thought her promo was a bit just not good. I don't know. She's just not my cup of tea.
Well, she struggled there for a minute with her promo, but I liked the promo near the end. Like, it had anger. It has realism. It has a hint of like, you guys are forgetting my contributions. Like, I don't mind any of that. She didn't struggle like Goldberg struggled at the beginning of a promo, but it wasn't a great promo. And by the way, I think this is the second time already this year that John Cena and AJ Styles could be promo of the year. Like,
I have two lines of the night. One of them is serious and one of them is goofy. The serious one comes from the AJ Cena's promo you're talking about, and the other one comes from James Ellsworth. Which one do you want me to get to first?
Do James Ellsworth, because my line of the night comes from Ellsworth as well.
Okay, like I feel like we usually give line of the night to a funny comment.
Yeah,
but there was a better line. It just wasn't funny. The funny comment I would go with from James Ellsworth during his shopping spree with Carmella. Can you show me to your finest pajama bottoms, please?
Yeah. That's good. That's different than mine. Mine was I haven't gone shopping for fancy clothes since my court date.
Both are good. Both are good. So that was.
I'm surprisingly really liking him and Carmella together. Like
this one,
it's got to go somewhere soon, but yeah, I'm liking it.
I don't know. I wouldn't say soon. I could deal with a few more weeks or even months of what we have now.
Yeah.
So, and then my serious line of the night, but there's nothing goofy about it, is from the AJ Styles promo. And he said a great line. At the Royal Rumble, I'm not asking for an inch. I'm taking a foot and I'm putting it up your ass.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. I mean, it sounds stupid when I say it, but it sounded great, I thought.
There were great lines the whole way through that. And Cena I thought was on point. He was like, I wasn't built for the indie scene. I was built for the WWE.
Yeah, that was good too.
Yeah.
So there was that. A little tired that there was a big rematch. We had Miz versus Ambrose again.
Yeah, I know. At least they're putting on good matches, dude. You know. And I think that was a creative way to at least, because you know how you hate when there's like the promo stacking, like someone comes out and then someone else comes out and
mm-hmm.
every time before Royal Rumble, and we had a Royal Rumble go home show here in State College. You and I went to, where like it always ends with 1 million people in the ring, and that's what they do.
I don't think we had a go home show. We had one after the Rumble where Batista made his choice as to who he was going to fight.
There was a go home show once before that. Maybe it was before I met you. It was like 2 years before that.
Okay.
Okay. So that makes sense. It was a creative way, the lumberjack match, to get everybody out there.
Yeah. I thought that was okay. And then you want to say which show you liked better this week?
I like SmackDown better again, and I think that it has everything to do with the 2 hours. I really do. If I fast forward and make Raw 2 hours, I think that I would pick Raw. Raw had the better ending. Raw had the much better ending, but I like SmackDown.
I'm actually going to give it to Raw personally. Raw had that ending that a lot of people were talking about. Plus, it had a really good Zayn Rollins match. Some other good stuff on the show. While I certainly could have made it an hour shorter by every stretch of the imagination, I would say the better show this week personally, I would go with Raw.
Okay.
So
at least they're keeping it close.
Yeah, exactly right. And I thought it was actually a pretty solid week of wrestling, to be honest. As we head into the Royal Rumble.
Do it. Let's do it.
All right, Valeri. We got to lock in. Hold on, let me make sure I have my sound effects ready to go here so we can lock in. I don't have these in any sort of order, so let me just kind of pick and choose.
Well, I have the order that they had on online. Like I went from bottom up, so we can get to the main event.
I'm just gonna pick one that I think like we got those two kickoff shows.
Yeah.
Why don't we start there?
Yeah.
And I've got Sasha Banks and Nia Jax squaring off. And to be honest with you, kudos to them for finally making this is the first Nia Jax match I'm excited for.
Yeah, it's had a little build. She attacked Sasha Banks. It's not a squash match, and she's showing a little personality. Like and kudos to them for having Sasha fight someone other than Charlotte.
Yeah. So what do they do here?
I think Nia goes over. I think Nia goes over, and I'm going to say she wins, but I wouldn't be surprised if she lost because of like a disqualification or because she keeps Becky Lynch out of the ring too long and hits her with a chair. I think it's going to further the injury angle. It's moving towards that way.
I mean, there could be a schmoz ending, but we're going to start off with a disagreement because I've got Sasha winning this one.
All right.
I feel like Sasha, even though it's only been a couple of weeks, has been quote unquote injured. I don't know how real it's been, but she hasn't had a match since December, and I feel like it's kind of a return match for her. Plus, I figure she's going to play a bigger part as we head forward in heading into WrestleMania.
Okay.
Than Nia. And I think they're going to want to make her look strong. There could easily be a schmoz ending like you're talking about, but I think Sasha Banks gets the victory one way or another.
I think it's time for Nia Jax to be the monster she's promised to be, and I think this is the day to do it.
All right, so we disagree with Sasha and Nia Jax. There's one more match confirmed for the pre-show. I heard them say it on Raw. The tag team title match, which features not one, but two referees.
Yeah, whatever.
Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson try to take the tag team championships from Cesaro and Sheamus. Jerry Valeri, you kind of said on the last episode that you had some ideas about this one, but you weren't positive yet.
Well, yeah. I mean, at one point in time, I had the title changing hands in every match. I just did. And I clearly went back and I changed some of that. I think the two referees, I don't even know how they're going to play with that. They've been making Gallows and Anderson look very strong, and I'd love to see them be tag champs, and I think that will happen. I don't think it happens this week. I think they're finally getting some steam with Cesaro and Sheamus, and I think Cesaro and Sheamus retain the titles.
Okay, I was kind of hoping you wouldn't say that, but it's no big deal. I never had Anderson and Gallows winning this week. I do have some title changes on the horizon on Sunday, but never in my mind did I think it was going to be the tag team titles. I feel like, first of all, especially with it being on the pre-show, it's less likely. And then second of all, the two referees, I feel like anytime we got two referees, you got a chance for like a disagreement and a chance for, just like some sort of messy ending. I just feel like Cesaro and Sheamus, I don't know who gets the victory, but Cesaro and Sheamus retain.
I just hope I see this match because I don't know if I can buckle up for 5 hours of Rumble.
Yeah, I'm gonna be watching with a bunch of guys, with one of our sales guys, and some of the other personalities are going over there too. So I will probably be content all night. I don't know what time I'll head over there, but Yeah, I'm excited to see what they come up with for that match.
Okay, so we agree on that one.
We do. Yeah.
All right.
I wish one of the matches we've already talked about would have been switched with this match, which is not confirmed for the pre-show, but it seems more pre-show to me. You've got a 6-woman tag match. Nikki Bella, Naomi, and Becky Lynch teaming up against Mickie James, Natalya, and Alexa Bliss. This feels more like a pre-show match to me than Banks and Jax does.
Yeah, I agree with that completely, but it's because it has the women's champion on SmackDown that I think that they put it on the show.
That's a bad choice.
Yeah, I agree. You would just want me to go ahead and give it to you?
Sure. What do you got?
I got the heels, and I have Mickie James in particular getting the win.
I wrote the same thing. I just wrote heels. I don't know who gets the win, but I feel like those three are just really hot right now, as opposed to, Naomi's not doing all that much. And Nikki Bella is what she is. She's always going to be relevant. I don't know. I feel like the heels are going over too. I agree.
Okay.
All right. Now I'm looking at what we got here. Let's talk about the other. Let's talk about the Cruiserweight Championship. Let's go to that one.
That's the next one I have too.
Okay. Not easy to call this one. This one's not easy to call.
I called this one with my eyes closed.
Really? It's funny the way we disagree on those things. Like the ones that you labor over, I don't. And the ones that I do, you seem to not.
Right.
I got Neville winning.
Okay. I have Neville winning as well. I think that this has been the plan from the beginning. I think Rich Swann and Neville, it's a cool feud. Neville is a monster in the Cruiserweight division. They found a division where he doesn't look small, he looks big. And
that's a great quote right there.
And he's going to win. And I think he's going to win, and he's going to hold the belt for a while. They're going to have a very strong heel champion, and that's what they need to make the Cruiserweight title really mean something.
But you put it in better words than I could have. I'm not even going to try. I'm just going to say I agree, and I agree with your reasoning. And it just seems like the logical fit to me. All right, perfect. Let's talk about the Raw Women's Championship. This one was also tough for me.
Not me.
Okay, what do you got?
I have Charlotte Flair winning again. I have her winning. I think Bayley will get her day, and Bayley may get her day very soon, but Bayley doesn't get her day yet. I don't think she gets it yet. And the one thing they said on Raw that made me believe this was when they said Charlotte hasn't lost on a pay-per-view yet.
That is so funny you say that, because that exact quote is the exact reason I disagree with you.
You think the jinx is in?
I think they bring that up to make you think that Charlotte can't lose. That's the only reason. If they did not say that quote, I would say Bayley, her moment will come at WrestleMania.
I think it will.
And then they have that quote, which I feel like is just designed to swerve you. It's so funny. We both picked up on that.
We both picked that quote, and we both took different things from it. I took she's not going to lose it yet. The pay-per-view she loses will be WrestleMania.
It could very well happen. I feel like Bayley's moment is going to be at the Royal Rumble, and then Sasha is going to pick it up at Mania. Probably in a multi-person match.
Okay.
So, but Jared, I had a hard time with this one. I don't think that you're wrong per se. I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't. This one's tough to call, but sounds like we disagree on this one. Are you making notes? Do I see?
What I'm doing is I'm taking, without showing you what I have so far. I put squares around the ones that I picked, and then I circle the ones you picked. So at the end, when we recap, I know what our disagreements are.
Because I'm not taking those notes, and I appreciate you doing that.
You're good.
I always forget on game day who picked what.
I'm all fired up for this one, baby!
Awesome. Perfect. We've got 3 more matches to go.
Big matches. Big matches, man.
All right. You know what? I'm going to go with this one next. Roman Reigns taking on Kevin Owens for the WWE Universal Championship, also known as the Raw Championship. Yes. It is a no disqualification match that features Chris Jericho being suspended, quote, like a sexy piñata.
Yes.
Above the ring in a shark cage.
Yes.
And I am really getting the strong vibe that we will get a new champion in this match.
You're picking Roman Reigns.
I'm picking Roman Reigns. I haven't even used the lock-in sound effect, but I'm locking in on Reigns. I feel this way strongly. I can't explain why, but I do.
I think we are going to get Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho at WrestleMania. I think that's going to happen.
Agreed.
I think we're also going to get Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe at WrestleMania. And I think Samoa Joe is going to ruin Reigns' shot, and I pick Kevin Owens to retain the championship. I truly believe in my heart that Raw is going to have their championship defended at WrestleMania, and it's going to be Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho. That's the biggest match they can have other than Lesnar and Brock.
Raw's title match at WrestleMania. Let me make sure I've got this. Jericho and Owens.
Yes. I think they swerved us by putting the championship on Jericho. I think everybody thought, you and I agreed. We were like, oh, that's it. Crap, it's going to be Reigns. Nope, I just don't think so. I think enter Samoa Joe. I don't know why, because he's a heel. I think that's where we're going to see him. And I think he's going to ruin Reigns' life, and that's going to be that.
Interesting. I am never the guy that... So it's always a different guy. Like, it used to be Styles. Now it's like Nakamura, Samoa Joe, Kenny Omega. I'm having a hard time thinking of past examples, but there's always a guy that they always say is going to debut at the Royal Rumble and an interference at WrestleMania. And I never get on that train. And if you want me to be totally honest...
But last year it happened with AJ Styles.
It did. You're absolutely right. And you know what? Last year, or 2 years ago, Rollins cashed in the Money in the Bank at WrestleMania. Sometimes it does happen. I will say we do not see Samoa Joe before WrestleMania.
Okay, I disagree because if we don't see him at the Rumble, we're going to see him at the Elimination Chamber.
You think?
It depends which show they want to put him on. It really does. It depends which championship they want to have him going after eventually.
I have like a mild level of excitement. Like I'd be excited for him to debut. Like I would probably, I don't want to say mark out, but I'd be excited.
Which show would you prefer him on? Which show do you think would benefit more? I think SmackDown would benefit, but I think that Raw is going to take him.
The Raw side feels more natural with like, Roman Reigns, and I don't know, it just feels like that's where he'd wind up. But I feel like the bloom will come off the rose with him. Like I know people love him, and I just don't.
I don't know much about him, but so many people have sung his praises, and now I'm starting to believe what people say about him because, and I'm giving him credit because of AJ Styles. Because I didn't know AJ Styles from a hole in the ground, and you told me he was the greatest thing since sliced bread, and you were right.
I was right, and now I'm telling you Samoa Joe isn't.
And you'll probably be right, but I'll be excited if he keeps Roman Reigns. Listen, if he keeps Roman Reigns from winning the championship from Kevin Owens, I'm buying a Samoa Joe shirt.
Yeah, I'm with you. Okay, cool. So you made a lot of predictions there, Valeri.
Yeah, I'm just all in. I made notes. I told you the only way to predict this Rumble was to start putting people together at Mania.
Had to work backwards.
Yeah.
Had to work backwards. Okay, so to clarify, I have Reigns winning. You have Owens retaining. I have
Kevin Owens retaining the championship. So far, we disagree on 3 matches.
All right.
And good ones, too.
And then we've got 2 more still, one of which has 30 possible outcomes.
Yeah.
Excuse me. AJ Styles defends his WWE Championship, also known as the SmackDown Championship, against John Cena. And this one's tough. And is that your prediction?
That's my pick.
All right. Why do you feel that way?
If I tell you why I feel that way, I give away everything. I will say this: John Cena tying AJ Styles or tying Ric Flair at the Royal Rumble. I see that being the championship that changes hands. I see SmackDown because if you look at Raw has a main event. Raw has a big main event at Mania that we don't know about yet, but it's Goldberg and Brock. I mean, that's Raw's main event. That's it. What's SmackDown's main event? What's it? What is it yet? We don't know. And what could it be that would be really huge? It's probably going to involve John Cena, and it's probably going to be for the championship. So if he didn't get it here, he was going to get it at Elimination Chamber. I truly believe in my heart John Cena will walk into WrestleMania the champion. So I'm going to say it happens here. I'm taking him.
Okay. I thought about that, and I feel like the magic moment with Cena is not going to be his next title win. It's going to be the following, because my understanding is the next title win ties his record with Ric Flair at 16.
Right.
So 17, I feel like, is the confetti moment.
Yes.
So I don't see him winning the title twice in the next 2 months. You know what I mean?
No, I don't either. I see him winning it once, and then... Well,
I do too, but I don't think it's going to happen on Sunday. I think it might happen at WrestleMania.
Oh, okay.
So
I have a different confetti moment at WrestleMania.
Okay. So this is so all over the place. I love this because I've got AJ Styles winning, and I don't have confidence.
No, this is great. We're disagreeing on everything.
Yeah, we are. And
it could be bad for one of us. It's probably going to be bad for me because I'm just going rogue. I'm going oddball.
I think outside of Samoa Joe, you've got great rationale. And I also want to throw one more thing out at you. You talked about how Raw's main event is locked in. Here's the other issue I'm running into. Not only do you have Raw's big match locked in, which I know isn't confirmed, but in my head I agree is also Goldberg and Lesnar. Every match I feel like I have concrete is on the red side.
Yeah, because Triple H and Seth Rollins, that's red.
Right. And then,
a Universal Championship match will be red.
I have Owens and Jericho. That's red. I have a Universal Championship match, which I haven't said yet, but I have one red. I don't have a blue one. We know Undertaker's going to be in a high-profile match. I have a prediction as to who, but it's red. Everything's red. I have no blues. I have 0 blues.
Wow. Well, you and I are all we disagree on so many things, but we agree on that. We agree on I have a couple. I have one blue. I have one good blue in my head.
Okay. All right. Let's go into the big one here.
Yeah.
30-man Royal Rumble match over the top rope. Some names announced. Here's what we've got. Just going to say a few names here that the website that I got these cards from had Brock Lesnar, Bill Goldberg, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, Big E, Chris Jericho, Braun Strowman, Dolph Ziggler, Baron Corbin, Undertaker, Miz, Dean Ambrose, Cesaro, Sheamus, Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton, Luke Harper, Big Show, Sami Zayn, Big Cass, Rusev, Mojo. And then that still is only 22. There's still 8 open spots that this website had.
And Seth Rollins could still sneak in.
Absolutely he could. And there are so many. We talked about potential angle makes sense. People talking about Samoa Joe and Nakamura. People
talking about Finn Balor coming back.
People talking about Kenny Omega. There are a lot of possibilities with those 8 spots, man. And I have had an awful lot of confidence in my choice. And I made my decision a few weeks ago, and I stand by my decision. And I feel like several times over the past week here at the radio station or in my personal life, people have been asking me who I think is going to win the Royal Rumble. And it may make me an a-hole, but I've been telling them they'll have to wait till Thursday.
That's perfect. That's great.
And
you and I would talk about it, but I was never going to tell you what my pick was, and you were never going to tell me yours, but you're confident we have the same one.
I do believe, yeah. So I've kind of left a trail of breadcrumbs that I wish I didn't leave as to kind of, I believe if you really scour the last episodes, you could determine who my pick is. And I think that we used the same logic going into our choice as far as working backwards and putting matches together. But then you said something in today's episode that made me think maybe we don't have the same choice.
So I want to hear yours. Mine's written down. It's locked in. I swear to God, whatever I have is what I'm going to say. Tell me what you have.
All right, you want me to go first?
Or do you want me to go first? How about I go first? What do you want?
Well, I was going to save my choice, but
Save yours. Save yours. Here's mine. The winner of the Royal Rumble. And the man that will challenge John Cena for the championship on SmackDown, giving them their main event, has to be The Undertaker. It has to be The Undertaker. Why would they put The Undertaker in if he wasn't going to win it? Undertaker is going to win the Royal Rumble, and The Undertaker's last WrestleMania match ever is going to be him winning the WWE Heavyweight Championship. That's your confetti moment. That's your last Taker moment at Mania. Lock it in! Lock it in!
Wow. First of all,
that.
First of all,
did I want to say Chris Jericho a couple times, but I was like, you know what? Nope. It's Taker. It's always Taker.
Wow. Okay, this is great. So a few things. Number one is you have thrown a whole lot of theories out there, all of which make a lot of sense. And you have really fantasy booked WrestleMania in a logical way.
Let me book it.
We have a different choice for the winner of the Royal Rumble.
Wow.
That's the first thing. Second of all, it seems like... So here's the trail you had, because you mentioned on the last episode you settled on Seth Rollins. And
I felt Seth Rollins was going to do it for a while.
And then Sami Zayn takes his shot away. And then you said it seemed like you had settled on Chris Jericho for a little bit. And then it changed to finally The Undertaker.
It was Undertaker at the beginning, and then the other two just kept. The minute I had the epiphany that Kevin Owens was going to retain, I was like, well, that now Jericho's got to win the Rumble. Jericho wins the Rumble, and you've got a couple weeks of those two arguing, Kevin saying, well, just go after John Cena, just go after AJ Styles, and him going, no, I want this one, and then that goes back and forth. That would be great. And it could happen. It's got to be Taker. When those three guys were standing in the ring at the end of Raw, I was like, two of you are already fighting at Mania. One of you needs something to do. You're going to win the championship at Mania, and you're going to do it against Cena. And that changed my entire pick, because I had AJ Styles winning too.
So you mentioned to me this morning, without saying any names, you said, I think we're going to have the same pick for the Royal Rumble. So you thought I was going to pick Undertaker.
I thought you were going to pick Undertaker. When you said 3 shows ago that the pick was glaring, that's the only breadcrumb you left that I picked up on. You were like, it's so glaring. It's been in front of us, and we've missed it the whole time. And I was like, it's the Taker. It's Taker coming back.
So not only do we not have the same pick to win the Royal Rumble, you at no point in time were settled on the name that's going to win the Royal Rumble.
Don't say it. If you say what I think it is, and it is, I'm going to be bummed.
Listen, here, by my reverse booking, there's one thing that really seems to make sense to me.
Okay.
And there's one name we haven't even really discussed yet, who I think is going to have a big part on the Raw brand over the next 2 months. The winner of the 2017 Royal Rumble is going to be Braun Strowman.
Oh, don't say it.
Is that what you thought? Is that what you were worried?
Yeah, I was worried. I'm hoping he does something with Sami Zayn.
Why?
Listen, if the way that because the way you booked it, my WrestleMania main events are better than yours. You've got Roman Reigns taking on Braun Strowman. That sucks.
I do have that, but I don't love it, but it's what it is. It is what it is. Listen, Roman is open, and Roman is a monster babyface, and Strowman is open, and Strowman is a monster heel, and I don't see anything that makes sense besides Strowman winning. Nothing else makes sense to me. But it's just got to be Strowman and Reigns.
I've heard Strowman from a lot of people. You make sense. For me, I didn't even pick it like a fantasy. Like my match is cooler than your match. It's not about that. It's who do you think is going to win it? I don't think Braun Strowman's going to win it yet. They do this all the time with big guys.
You don't need Goldberg or Lesnar to win to make interest in their match. You don't need Undertaker to win to make interest in his match, although your confetti moment makes sense. You don't need Jericho to win to get into a feud with Owens. It's already so easy outside of that. The one thing you need, I feel like, to spark this title match that I do believe will happen is Roman winning the Universal Championship and Strowman winning the Rumble. And if it doesn't happen on Sunday, I still think through the elimination, through some sort of February pay-per-view, that's where they got to go.
I'd like to see Braun Strowman beat Roman Reigns' head in. That would be okay.
Imagine if Braun Strowman eliminates people like Brock Lesnar, Goldberg, Undertaker from the Royal Rumble. You're going to establish him. And then you have him win the Royal Rumble the same night. You're going to establish Braun Strowman, which is something I think they've been wanting to do.
It makes sense. It's something you need to do eventually. Like, you're right, Taker doesn't need the rub. I just think that they're going to give it to him.
And also, let me also, I hate to cut you off, I'm sorry. Your confetti moment, keep in mind, if this is Undertaker's last match, I don't think he's going to go out winning the world title.
It's not his last match, it's his last Mania.
So you think he's going to defend it on SmackDowns?
I think he'll defend it at SummerSlam, and I think he'll lose it at SummerSlam, and then that'll be that.
So he's just going to go 3 months with like no title matches?
Listen, Lesnar's done it.
Okay. All right, then. Well, listen, we got to wrap this up. It's getting to be time for me to leave the studio, man. But wow.
Just to recap, we disagree on Sasha Banks and Nia Jax. We disagree on Charlotte Flair and Bayley. We disagree on Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns. We disagree on John Cena and AJ Styles, and we disagree on the Rumble.
We disagree on everything.
Everything except for Neville and the heels winning. That's it.
And we agreed on Sheamus and Cesaro, didn't we?
Yeah, that was it. Three matches we agreed on.
And what sucks is your knee jerk was to go with Gallows and Anderson. It was until the house show. I love this episode. For some reason, we just lost you, Jer, so I have to keep the camera off you. It's just this. Oh, now you're back. Well, either way, thank you so much. I'm going to wrap things up now. I love this episode. I cannot wait for Sunday. We'll be back on Monday with a Royal Rumble recap that is sure to be exciting. And you heard it here first. Braun Strowman wins the 2017 Royal Rumble. For myself, The Rob, my tag team partner, Ramblin' Jerry V. Have a great week, a great time at the Royal Rumble. We'll be back on Monday. Braun Strowman will rest in peace.